You guys, if you haven't heard about Anchor by Spotify, you need to. It's the easiest way to make a podcast with everything you need all in one place. Anchor has tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or your computer. When hosting on Anchor, you can distribute your podcast on listening platforms like Spotify, Apple Podcast, and more. It's everything you need to make a podcast in one place. And best of all, Anchor is totally free. Download the Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started.
Welcome to Mimesis, the podcast where life and art imitate each other in all sorts of twisted ways. I'm Sandra Sheriff-Zackerly.
And I'm Stacey Rourke.
And we are your hosts on this adventure, this spooky adventure.
Yes, we are kicking off our 7 weeks of haunted tales.
I'm so excited.
Me too. We've been watching so many scary movies at our house, like getting in the spooky season vibe, and I'm just loving it.
I haven't done that yet.
We watched last night, it was Spree.
I don't remember that one.
Spree is relatively new. I think it was filmed in the heart of the pandemic because everything is like filmed on GoPros and phones.
Oh, okay.
But it's got the guy that plays Steve on Stranger Things as basically like an Uber driver that decides to go on a killing spree.
Well, that's awesome.
Live on social media to try to get more followers.
Oh, I heard that. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I wanted to see that one.
It's not really scary, but there's parts of it that are like really funny. So
it's not like you're going to get super scared. It's just kind of a thriller scary.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's more funny and, kind of making a statement about people and how far they're willing to go just to get those likes and that, social media. So that's a good one. Highly recommend checking that one out.
I'll definitely have to.
Yes. And which one are we talking about today, Miss Sandra?
Today we are doing Amityville Horror.
Now, to prepare for this, did you watch the classic or did you watch the one with Ryan Reynolds?
I think I've watched the first one.
The 1970s one?
Yeah, but I definitely remember the Ryan Reynolds one from 2005 more.
Yeah. That's
okay. Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna I'm gonna get a little pissy for a minute, okay? I posted on my own social media.
Yeah, I saw that.
We were watching a Halloween classic, and I put the poster for the Ryan Reynolds Amityville Horror, and I had people that were jumping into my shit because I called it a classic.
Right.
Okay, I understand that there was another one that came before. I get that, but can we all just live and let live, people? Can we, seriously?
It's still a classic. It's a remake of a classic.
Yes, it's the story that's the classic. Just
right.
Can we just be nice? Like, you don't have to intentionally say snarky things to people. Sometimes just be nice. Just be nice.
Right. So. Like, oh, have fun. I didn't like that version, but...
Yes, exactly. Yeah. I prefer this one, but, don't attack what somebody considers a classic, because here's another thing. How do you know that maybe that wasn't the first one I was introduced to and I fell in love with it?
Right.
Which, by the way, it was. I have not seen the original. Right. So... just don't come for
well,
I mean,
okay, that. I'm going to go into a little bit of my research that I found, and because this kind of ties in. How many remakes of Amityville Horror do you think there are? Just in film?
I have no idea. I'm going to take a guess and say 9.
28.
Holy shit.
Yes, and that's just film. 28 different remakes or some kind of like offshoot of Amityville.
Okay,
Horror.
So... you don't know which one somebody, like, it's their favorite, and to them it's a classic. So
exactly. It's like the Christmas movies. Like, pick a Christmas movie. Like,
yeah.
You like some, like, what? Polar Bear Express?
Polar Express. Elf.
Yeah, like to me, like it's always A Christmas Story. That's like my Christmas classic movie.
Yeah. And I particularly don't care for that one, but I don't judge you for liking it. Just
yeah. So we all have different opinions. Be nice.
Be nice.
Yeah.
Okay, that said, I did sit down and watch Amityville Horror with my teenagers. Now, keep in mind, these are the same kids that just recently watched The Shining and said it was the scariest movie they'd ever seen.
Yeah.
They took that back after watching this one. At one point, both of them got up and ran from the room.
I'm telling you, this one is scary.
They noped out in a really big way. They were like, nope, 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 and just ran from the room. They both did come back, but Elliot, my oldest, there's a scene in the movie, spoiler alerts for anybody that hasn't seen it, where Ryan Reynolds gets in the bathtub and dips his head back in the water, and these arms come up from underneath him and hold him down in the bathtub. My girl got up, went in the bathroom, and threw up. Like, it wasn't like I'm going to puke. She rose from the couch, quickly walked into the bathroom, and vomited.
Oh, no.
I have never been so scared I puked before. And that...
Oh, poor girl.
That wasn't even like the scariest scene in the movie.
No.
But for some reason, I guess the idea of somebody holding her underwater like that just...
Yeah. So that reminds me of the movie What Lies Beneath.
I love that movie so much. Now that is one of my Halloween classics. I watch that every year. I love
that movie. And I think you introduced it to me, like it's most things that you do, but that movie is like my absolute favorite. And it's not even a scary movie.
No, it's a psychological thriller.
Yeah.
But it's so good. So good.
Yeah.
And also the house in that movie is gorgeous.
Uh-huh.
Gorgeous.
Uh-huh. I want the house. Maybe not the lake that's connected to the house.
There's dead people in it.
But,
that line from a Haunted Mansion, the Eddie Murphy Haunted Mansion. There's dead people in the backyard. Honey, look, there's dead people in the backyard.
I love all these movies.
I know.
I was going to say something. Now my brain blanked.
Well, we're recording earlier than we normally do, so I think both of us, it's going to be...
A lot earlier. Like 12 hours earlier.
I know. I am a night person. I am not awake yet.
Yeah.
Oh, speaking of being tired, I had a door-to-door salesman come to my door last night, despite my no soliciting signs, but whatever. Came to the door trying to sell me solar panels for the roof of my house.
Okay.
And in the middle of all this, he, like, in conversation, he's trying to schedule the time to come out, which we're not going to do, but... And in the middle of it, he's like, "You don't strike me as a morning person." Well, what the fuck does that mean?
What?
What does that mean? You've known me for all of 2 seconds. Rude. I'm going to go ahead and take that as an insult.
Bye. Close the door.
Yeah, Cerberus.
I remember my question that I was going to ask. Is Ellie still wanting to watch scary movies?
She is.
So that didn't just like, nope, I'm never watching a scary movie again?
No, and here's the really funny thing. These kids, because like Amityville scared them pretty good.
Yeah.
So the next night, because seriously, we've been watching scary movies like every night.
Yeah.
The next night, Madeline, my youngest, she was like, "Mom, I need kind of a palate cleanser after Amityville. Can we watch something less scary or something not scary?" That's what she said. "Can we watch something not scary, like Bates Motel?"
Of course.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely. Sure. You would rather watch the series about the young man spiraling into insanity? Yes, we can for sure watch that instead.
Oh, that's awesome. I can't wait. Are we doing that one on the spooky season?
Bates Motel?
Yeah.
Possibly. Yes, we are, because it's All right, I'm just going to put this out there. I'm going to do an episode that's going to tie in Psycho, Bates Motel, and
Texas Chainsaw
Silence of
Massacre?
the Lambs and Texas Chainsaw Massacre. So
Silence
all
of
those
the Lambs?
4, yes. The way I'm going to tie it in together, there is a mimesis that connects all 4 of those things. So that's going to be in one episode.
That's
a lot.
A lot.
Yeah.
That one scared me. And I think
Silence
it's more
of the
that
Lambs?
I think it's more that it scared me because I was really little and my parents were watching it and they're like, no, go, you can't watch this. And so then I've always been like apprehensive to watch it.
Yeah, because what is it that they didn't want you to see?
Yeah.
Yeah, I get that. That one's a psychological thriller too. That I really like psychological thrillers.
I mean, we'll talk about it later. I'll have all my questions then. I'll formulate more.
All right. So should we dig into today's topic?
Yes. So Amityville horror. I don't remember what it starts with because I did not go back and watch it.
It starts with the news footage of the young man killing his entire family.
Okay. Well, that's what I thought, but like...
Well, I just watched it, so if you want me to... That's where it starts. It starts with the murders.
Okay.
Side note, I talked about the house and what lies beneath being very pretty. The Amityville house is lovely.
It is.
It's a gorgeous house. It's too bad that it's haunted is all shit.
Right. We'll get to that.
Yeah.
Okay. So 3:15 a.m. on November 13th, 1974, Ronald Defoe Jr. murdered his entire family at the house of 412 Ocean Avenue in Amityville, New York, which is on Long Island.
Okay.
I had to look up a map because I'm like, where does this fall? Like, I understand Long Island, but like, where is this?
Where is it?
Yeah.
Where is it?
So, it's to the west.
Okay.
East, to the east of like Brooklyn and everything down Long Island.
And it's right on the water there.
We'll post a map.
Okay.
It's right on the water. Yeah. So he claimed that he was persuaded to kill them by voices he heard in the house.
Mm-hmm.
So,
which we'll discuss later if that's a possibility.
Yep. So, again, this is the movie part of it because obviously they kept the names the same.
Yeah.
Throughout the whole thing. So 1 year
They're
later,
like, everybody knows. We might as well just use the same names.
Right. So a year later, I guess it's a little over a year because it was in December, a married couple, George Lutz, who was played by Ryan Reynolds.
Yes, who got all kinds of jacked up for this movie.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I love him. And then Kathy Lutz, played by Melissa George. They move into the house along with Kathy's 3 children from a previous marriage.
Yep.
Billy, Michael, and Chelsea. The family soon begin experiencing paranormal events in the house. I think it was only like 28 days that they lived in the house.
So shit got real really quick.
Real quick. It was like, move in, bam, we're going to start the paranormal.
Well, and there's a scene in the movie where the realtor is walking them through and the wife lets out like a happy scream, but the realtor like comes running and she has this look on her face that she's like, what did you see? And then she's like, oh, it's a happy scream. Okay, we're good. So
yeah, it's a creepy house.
It is.
But it wanted to lure them in, so they didn't want to give it just yet.
Not yet. No. Get them settled.
And they got a steal of a deal.
Did they really?
Yeah. $80,000 for that big giant house.
On a lake?
On a lake.
Wow.
Yeah.
Even in the 70s, that's amazing.
Yeah.
In today's market, you could not find that unless the house is like on fire and then there's still going to be a bidding war.
No, I'm saying like if it was haunted, no, that people would be like jumping. Here's millions of dollars for it right now because everybody wants that. But with the paranormal experiences, Chelsea claims that she has befriended a girl named Jody who belongs to the murdered Defoe child.
And how would there's no way that little girl would know that name?
No, not at all.
Unless it was just a pure coincidence, but like.
And we're throwing in ghost kids.
Yeah, and it all comes back to fucking ghost kids.
Those damn ghost kids.
And that ghost girl in that movie is freaking terrifying.
Right? Like, they want to portray that she's not this mean-spirited child, but yeah, she's creepy as fuck.
Yeah, I don't care, a ghost kid.
Right. Okay. So one night the couple decides to go out and they hire a babysitter. When the babysitter Lisa arrives, they come to find out that she had previously been hired by the Defoes to watch those kids. Lisa tells them about the murders, and when she goes to Chelsea's room, Chelsea tells her that she is a bad babysitter, claiming Jody told her.
Oh.
So Lisa begins to scold Jody for being the reason behind getting her fired. She's yelling at thin air.
Well, so you're nuts. Okay.
Uh-huh. Billy dares Lisa to go inside the closet, the same closet where Jody was murdered, and she gets locked inside.
Oh, see, that's an actual scene from the movie, too. So
yeah,
that's a real thing.
No, that's what I'm saying. This is all the movie.
Oh, okay. I thought you were saying this was all stuff that, like, really happened.
This is the movie.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
She goes into shock, and the paramedics arrive, taking her away, and Lisa tells Kathy that she has seen Jody.
Okay. Yeah, I remember that scene.
Yeah. Georgia's behavior towards Kathy and her children becomes abusive, and the paranormal activity continues. Spoiler and like trigger warning, he kills the dog, and I hated that.
Yeah, that's the scene that both of my kids left the room. They were like, nope. Leave the puppy alone.
Right. Like it's one thing to like murder people, but once the animals get in, I'm like, you assholes.
Yeah. No, I totally agree.
I hate it.
I don't know why we think like that, but yeah, I totally agree.
Yeah. I think it's because when it's kids getting murdered, there's an innocence there that nobody likes. It's like an animal because they're innocent. Yeah. Or it's a grown-up, you're like, you kind of victim shame, and that's not okay.
Yeah, we do all the time. That reminds me of that case that's in the news right now about the woman that was out jogging at 4:30. Yeah. And like I saw somebody post today that they were like, stop blaming her for running at 4:30 in the morning. Stop. Right. Stop blaming her for that. She should be able to run anytime she wants. Absolutely. So stop fucking victim shaming.
Mm-hmm. And that's what we all need to.
I just hit my mic. Sorry.
We all need to stop that.
Oh, completely.
Stop victim shaming. Okay. So Kathy asked the priest, Father Calloway, to bless the house as a protective measure to prevent any future paranormal activities. But Father Calloway flees the house when he encounters such occurrences himself. Kathy discovers that the house once belonged to a cult preacher named Reverend Jeremiah Ketchum.
Kill him.
Oh, that's creepy.
You don't remember that part of the movie? They rearranged the kitchen magnets to say "catch 'em, kill 'em."
That's right.
Catch 'em spelled differently.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then they chant that through the eerie parts.
That's right.
Yep.
That's where it was like, maybe I blocked it out.
Well, I'm very happy to bring that back for you. You're welcome.
So Jeremiah Ketchum. Almost. It's spelled so different.
It is.
It's Ketcham.
Yeah. I'm dying to know how much of this is like based in lore. So.
We'll get to it.
I know. I'm so excited.
Whose evil actions towards Native Americans during his mission in the 17th century, Amityville, are said to what caused the haunting.
He tortured them.
Yeah. So As George is walking through the basement, he encounters the apparitions of the Native Americans who were tortured and killed centuries ago. Entering a dimly lit room, George encounters Kitchum himself, though he is not aware of who he is, and the ghostly figure of the evil missionary turns around, picks up a knife, and slits its throat, recreating
Spraying
his
blood
suicide.
all over him.
Yeah. It's gross.
It is.
Kathy becomes convinced that George's abusive behavior is owed to a spiritual possession. Following urgent advice from Father Calloway, Kathy tries to evacuate her children from the house and escorts them to safety, but the possessed George attempts to kill them.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And then that's when they go on like the roof and
yeah.
Yeah.
And he was like,
Creepy.
here's the thing, okay? Like, he's spent all of this time trying to kill them, and then, you know, they knock him down, they tie him up, they get him in the boat, and, like, then they live happily ever after? Like, aren't you forever going to be like, dude?
Traumatized? Yeah, like, is he going to do this again? Like, yeah.
No, it was just real estate. That's why he was acting that way.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
George was released from the spirit's control and the family permanently leaves the house. It was 28 days of arriving and then they never returned. Jody, at the end of the movie, is shown standing in the now empty house and screaming in terror while the house rearranges itself back to its original state before the family's arrival. That's creepy. Like, to know that the house is like alive and now it's gonna like lure in the next people.
Yep, setting it up for the next ones.
No.
It makes me think of Murder House in American Horror Story.
Which one?
Murder House season 1.
Oh,
of American Horror Story.
Yeah.
Where everybody who dies there is trapped there.
Yes. It also makes me think of Rose Red.
Oh my gosh, I forgot about that. I love that series.
I loved it. I want to freaking binge it.
Yeah, I haven't watched it in so long, but I read the Stephen King book first. Which is really,
I never
really
read
good.
the book.
It's The Diary of Ellen Primwire. I'm trailing off because I don't remember exactly what the last name was. I don't remember. But it's really good. It's a short read for King. He doesn't normally do little short books like that, but
Rimbauer.
See, I was on the right track.
Rimbauer. Yes.
It's really good. But yes, it reminds me of Rose Red.
Yes. Because that house moves and like moves rooms and
which was inspired by the Winchester Mansion.
Okay.
The woman that owns the Winchester Mansion saw a psychic at some point in her life, and the psychic told her that no harm would come to her and she would live a long, healthy life as long as the house was under construction. So she just continued to build. So like if you go into this house, there's stairways that lead to nothing, and there's like hallways that shrink down to nothing, that, you know, it's just an optical illusion. It's somewhere you can actually go and tour. But
well, that's awesome.
Yeah, that's a real that was his inspiration for it.
Well, that's cool.
Look at that little side mimesis.
Yeah. Okay. So now to real life events.
Bring it.
On November 13th, 1974, Ronald Defoe Jr. shot and killed 6 members of his family at 108 Ocean Avenue. So they changed the address. And for the movie, the reason why they did that is they didn't want people just showing up at that location.
That's fair. I think that's fair.
Yeah. Because they even changed the 108 at Ocean Avenue as well, because people were still going to Amityville, like, to go look at this.
And it's
6 people
private
died
property, so yeah.
Yeah.
Stay away.
So
he shot them, right?
Shot, yes. Yeah. Shot and killed 6 of his family. Dad, mom, sisters, and brothers.
They were all in their beds, though, right? Jody wasn't actually in their closet.
I did not see that.
think that's... there's a documentary that I started watching about it, but then I didn't want to have too much information on this going in. I wanted it to be new and fresh. So as much as I heard was they were in their beds. So, anyways.
So this was a large Dutch colonial house situated in a suburban neighborhood in Amityville on the south shore of Longwood Island. Longwood? I want to come down to Florida so bad. Long Island.
Longwood is not an island, honey.
No, it's not. He was convicted of second-degree murder in 1975 and sentenced to 6 terms, 150 years in prison.
Wow.
Yeah. He died in custody.
See. What does that break down to? 150 divided by 6. How many did he get?
It's 25. It's 6 terms of 25 years to life.
Good. And he died?
He died in prison March 2021.
Oh, so he was in prison for a long time.
A long time. I mean, he wasn't getting out.
No.
Not at all.
You want him in there long enough to really think about what they did.
Yes. Yeah.
And he really did claim he heard voices, or he claimed insanity, didn't he?
He tried to. Yeah. I'll get into that later because there's quite a bit.
Okay.
In December 1975, George and Kathy and their 3 children moved into the house, and after 28 days, the Lutz fled. So that was all true.
Okay.
The father, the priest, didn't actually go.
He didn't go to the house?
To the house. No. There was a lawsuit, and during the course of the lawsuit surrounding the case in the late 1970s, so it was like probably 77, 78 around there.
Okay.
Father Cario stated in an affidavit that his only contact with the Lutzes concerning the matter had been by telephone.
Okay.
Other accounts say that the father did visit the house but experienced nothing unusual there. In 1979, Father Picaro, appearing in silhouette, described his experience while blessing the Amityville house during an interview for the television series In Search Of. In their interview, he makes it clear that he did in fact enter the home and that he was slapped by an invisible force and told to get out by a disembodied voice.
How did his story change so much?
Exactly. His story changed so much that he had never been there, that he only talked to him on the phone. But then now he has gone back, and then, yes, there was something that happened.
That's weird. I wonder why he changed his story.
Money?
Well, probably. They offered him money to say.
Mm-hmm. Because after this happened, after the murders and George and Kathy Lutz, so that was in 76, because it was 28 days from when they got it. So it happened through the course of into 76, because it was that December, January time frame.
Okay.
J. Anson published Amityville Horror in 1977.
Oh, okay.
Do you want to know what day it came out?
September 13th.
1977.
I love that so much.
I knew you would.
That's my birthday for those listening. That's so cool.
Yes.
And this show is going to be posted the 12th, isn't it?
Yep.
So right on the 40th anniversary of the book.
The book. Yep.
That's so cool. I love that.
Where was I going with that?
I don't know. It's just a cool piece of trivia. Did the Lutz family ever say what they saw in that house?
I'll get to that. Yeah.
Okay. No one can see the side eye that she just gave me. Shut up and stop rushing me.
I can't remember what I said. I was going somewhere with the whole 1979. The book came out in 77. So
maybe somebody trying to promote the book got
yes, that's why I think it was for money in 79 when he did that.
It might have been.
Yeah.
We'll make a big donation to the church if you say you saw something.
Yeah. So there were claims of physical damage to the locks, doors, windows of the house, but that was rejected by Jim and Barbara. I'm not even going to try their last name. who bought the house for $55,000 in March of 1977.
Wow.
That's equivalent to $246,000 in 2021.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
That's
that
a
big giant house
steal.
for $55,000.
Wow.
Yeah. Yep. So Barbara argued that they appeared to be original items and that they had not been repaired. Jim and Barbara also said that the Red Room was a small closet in the basement and would have been known to the previous owners of the house, the Lutzes, because it was not concealed in any way.
Okay.
The claim made in chapter 11 of the book that the house was built on a site where the local Shinnecock Indians had once abandoned the mentally ill and the dying was rejected by the local Native American leaders.
Okay.
So there's no
torture of Native Americans. And okay.
That was not.
So the Ketchum guy wasn't real?
No, not at all.
All right.
Yep. The claim of Kathy and John that they saw cloven hoofs on January 1st, 1976 was rejected as well by Rick Moran and Peter Jordan, who investigation revealed that there was no snowfall.
On the date that they say they saw this, there was
Correct.
No
snowfall. So their stories are unraveling.
It sounds like it.
The neighbors also reported nothing unusual during the time that the Lutzes lived there. And police officers are shown visiting the house in the book and in the film. But records show that the Lutzes never called the police while they were living there. So like
the incident with the babysitter?
Nope.
Okay.
Nope. And there was no bar in Amityville called the Witch's Brew either.
Well, that's just unfortunate.
Yeah. Critics pointed out that changes are made from book to book with every reprint. So, like, some of it was like, the car was this color. No, the car's this color. Like, things were changed.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, now the real fact is in May 1977, George and Kathy filed a lawsuit against William Weber, the defense lawyer.
Who's defense lawyer?
For Ronald Defoe Jr.
Really?
Yes. And Paul Hoffman, a writer working on the account of the hauntings, Bernard Burton and Frederick Mars, both alleged clairvoyants who had examined the house, along with Good Housekeeping magazine, the New York Sunday News, and the Hearst Corporation. I don't know who that was.
William Hearst was a big media guy.
Oh, okay. So they were suing all these people. They alleged that the misappropriation of the names, invasion of privacy, and mental distress. The claims against the news corporations were dropped, and the remainder of the lawsuit was heard by Brooklyn U.S. District Court Judge Jack B. Weinstein. In September of 1979, Judge Weinstein dismissed the Lutzes' claims. So they were getting nothing.
So they were trying to say that after what they went through, all of these people were smearing their names, and everyone was like, no.
Yeah. Yep.
No, because you made a big public spectacle about it, and everyone was trying to clear up what you said.
Right. Okay. So on September 17, 1979, issues of People magazine, Weber wrote, "I know this book is a hoax. We created this horror story over many bottles of wine." So this refers to a meeting that Weber is said to have had with George and Kathy Lutz, during which they discussed what would later become the outline of Anson's book.
Oh my gosh. Did they get a cut of the money from the book?
I don't know for sure. I tried digging to find that out, but I could not find anything like that. But that makes me think, yes.
Yeah, it sounds like it.
That they tried to take what happened to them, to the murder, turn it to like the 28 days for them that they dealt with all this stuff to make money off of it. Like, watch this. Yeah. So now it doesn't make the movie as scary to me, like reading all of this.
No,
knowing
it
that
doesn't.
it was a hoax.
Why did they leave the house? Did they just decide they didn't want to live there? Were they having marital problems? Like, why abandon that house in the first place?
Oh, I'm pretty sure they did get divorced. So there was something going on.
So maybe he was an abusive asshole.
Maybe. But they tried to spin it so that way they both could get money. Maybe they couldn't afford the $55,000 or however much they got the house for.
Yeah, maybe. Huh.
Yeah.
That's a bummer.
Yeah. George Lutz, however, does maintain that the events in the book were mostly true.
Okay. Meaning he actually did lose his temper and become an asshole.
Yeah. So in June of 1979, George and Kathy took polygraph tests relating to their experiences at the house. The polygraph tests were performed by Chris and Michael, who at the time were reportedly among the top 5 polygraphed experts in America. The results in Rice's opinion did not indicate lying.
Okay, but that doesn't mean that what the story they told is what.
Exactly.
Because you can word things.
Yep.
In a way that,
You really truly believe that you're right.
Yeah.
And if you really truly believe that you're right, it won't show that you're lying.
Yeah.
Especially the way that you ask questions.
Because, like, if you say something like, do you believe there's ghosts in the house?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
There's 6 people died there. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
That's not the same thing as, did you see ghosts in the house?
Right.
So, I don't know.
I don't know either.
It seems fishy
still
to
the movie,
me.
the way that they made the movie, it's scary. So.
Oh, it's terrifying. That one scene where the little girl is on the roof because Jody told her to go up there, and they come home and she's right on the peak of the roof. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. No.
After that scene, I'm watching it with my kids, and Ryan Reynolds comes in the in the room during that scene, and both of my kids were like, "Be nice, be nice," because that little girl was so scared, and they did not want him yelling at her.
Yeah, he did such an amazing job.
He
with
did.
That, like acting. There is a part that he decided before the movie, Ryan Reynolds chose not to become close with his on-screen children. He was not mean or rude to them, just very distant. So distant, in fact, that the children actually asked those on set, Ryan doesn't like us. Ryan said that he did not want to fall in love with the kids. He did it so that when George Lutz started changing, he would have no trouble easing into the verbal and physical abuse.
Yeah, it would be too hard.
Yeah.
Okay, that reminds me of in the latest season of Stranger Things, the actor that plays Vecna, Jamie Campbell Bower.
Yeah.
Apparently the first time that he did a scene with Millie Bobby Brown, he came out, in character, in costume, and it scared her so bad that she just started sobbing.
Oh, wow.
And he was trying to comfort her, but looking at him like that scared her so badly that apparently.
But she wanted that reaction.
Yeah. He got close enough to her that she could smell cigarette smoke on him, and then she could put it together. She connected that this was Jamie in there, but I'm sure for Ryan it was probably something similar, is that he didn't want to be in the middle of a scene and have to break character and soothe these kids that he loved, so it was like, let's just keep the curtain up there for now.
Right. And then probably after, he was like, okay, I'm so sorry about all of this.
Exactly. Group hug.
Trying to just be in character so that we get your real reaction.
Yeah.
Because that's a lot of it. That's where most of the the funny stuff, like Friends, when Ross and Ben throw the thing off of
the dummy down the stairs.
Get Rachel's real reaction of her screaming, thinking that they fell.
Yeah.
Yeah, but That's like what, method acting? We've talked about that before. Like you get the real result and it works beautifully on the camera.
Yep. So, it worked.
Yeah.
It worked that he did it this way.
Yeah.
I don't know if he's done another role similar to this. I know he did Blade 3. But I can't think of another role similar to this that he's done.
Ryan Reynolds?
Yeah.
No, I can't think of any. Most of them are like funny comedy.
Yeah.
Like Deadpool.
Oh my gosh. Love Deadpool. It's so funny.
Yeah. I don't know how non-comedy. He's in a new one. He's going to be Ebenezer Scrooge.
Really?
Yeah. So I don't know how funny they're going to go with it or how serious they're going to go with it.
I don't know.
Yeah.
We'll see.
And I heard that there were talks about him and Jason Bateman. Is that right? James Bateman?
I know there's a Jason Bateman.
Jason Bateman. Yeah.
Doing what?
Clue?
No, don't remake Clue.
I knew you would either be like excited or like absolutely not.
No. That's kind of like when people have tried to redo the Rocky Horror Picture Show. You can't. There's only one.
No.
It's just not good.
Yeah,
just
you can't
leave it alone. The cast of Clue was so perfect and it was just so well done. You can't do it.
No. Not at all.
Yeah. No.
Back to Amityville. In October of 2020. I can't talk. Back to Amityville. In October of 2000, the History Channel broadcasted Amityville: The Haunting in Amityville, Horror or Hoax.
And did they reveal it to be a hoax?
It doesn't say. It was just a 2-part documentary.
So we need to watch that documentary. And
we do. Yeah.
Yeah.
And the debate just continues of if the horror is real or not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we know 6 people died there.
Right.
So there could be some lingering energy there.
Yeah. Well, James and Barbara lived there for 10 years. They bought the house in 1977 and nothing weird ever happened.
Oh, well, see, now that just... Okay, but here's the thing. Because remember, we had a listener that wrote in about the fact that there were spirits in their house, but they meant no harm. Yeah. So here, I'm just going to play devil's advocate for a little bit. What if George Lutz really was an asshole and abusive? Right. And, there's a family that died there, a dad, a wife, their kids. And maybe the reason they saw some paranormal activity was because
they were trying to save the wife and the kids from going through what they went through by their son killing them.
Yeah. So, and then the next people that moved in were good people, and the spirits were just like, okay, this is good. Yeah. We're good.
Yep. So they said, Barbara's quoted comment says, nothing weird ever happened except for people coming by because of the books and the movies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did see that someone, I don't know who along history, but they did a little bit of work on the exterior of the house. So those windows that were very recognizable, they took those out.
Yep. So the house known as 112 Ocean Avenue still exists, but it has been renovated and the address is changed. And the Red Room is not red anymore. In order to discourage sightseers from visiting, the quarter-round windows have been removed, and the house today looks considerably different from its depiction in the films.
I think that's for good reason.
Yes. And the house in Tom's River, used as the location for the first 3 films, has also been modified for the same reason.
To keep people away from it.
Yep. And then the house that was used in the 2005 film versions was renamed for 12 Ocean Avenue. The 2005 film remake, also the basement of the Letz's home was built in 1692. But the 112 Ocean Avenue, also known as High Hopes, was built around 1924 for John and Cynthia Monahan.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I think we kind of debunked this one.
Yeah.
Wah, wah, wah.
A little bit. Yeah.
But we know there was a crime there, so there's a true crime element. But it sounds mostly like the family that moved in after that decided to cash in on that.
Right. I think so.
Yeah.
Especially if they really did have that meeting to make the book.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're like, what's the best way for us to get the most money?
Yep.
Because there are 28 films. 28 films now. All ranging from 1979 to 2021.
Wow. That's a lot.
Yeah.
You know what else is funny is Amityville is the same name of the city used in Jaws. So if there really was a house this haunted in the same city that was terrorized by great white sharks, like maybe stop moving there, y'all.
Right. Another trivia that I found, which is kind of creepy, but just before shooting began in 2005 or 2004, whenever they made the movie, a body of a fisherman who had been murdered washed up on the bank of the river right near the main house.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. Interesting.
So production got shut down for a little bit.
Yeah. Oh, look, a body. That's
Yeah.
That's always a good sign to see before filming.
Mm-hmm.
But still, I think other than the crime that happened there, this one sounds like not accurate.
Yeah. Well, there's one more trivia that I find interesting too. Well, that I kind of laugh. When Ryan Reynolds' character breaks through the wall into Kitchum's evil sanctuary and starts to see the ghost, one of the entities resembles Gollum Smeagol from The Lord of the Rings. He's even crouching very like Gollum in a cell, complete with a few strands of hair and blue eyes and a loincloth.
Did they do that on purpose?
Probably. Like, that makes me laugh, and especially because now that the new Lord of the Rings, I'm gonna get in trouble if I do not say this correctly, because I texted it to Nicole and she's like, Sandra, it's not that.
I wouldn't yell at you because I don't know what it is.
The Rings of Power.
The
Lord of the Rings, the Rings of Power. That just started hearing.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I know a lot of people are into that, so.
Yeah. I like Lord of the Rings a lot. Not as much as they do.
Yeah. I've seen the movies. I don't want to say anything at all bad because I know that those fans are ravenous and they will come for you.
Oh, I'm not going to say anything bad. I'm just saying about the fans. If you don't get it right, they're after you and on you.
Exactly. So that's why I'm not going to offer any opinions on anything Lord of the Rings because I don't want.
Except for the movies were really good. But then we can't even say that because what if somebody doesn't agree? And the books were better.
I know. Just everybody be nice.
Right.
No.
So yeah.
Although Lord of the Rings fans are not as bad as Star Wars fans. Star Wars fans, they're bad, man. They're bad.
Yeah.
Thankfully, your husband and my husband being Star Wars fans, they're not as bad. But I know, like, any casting decisions, anything that the Star Wars fans just tear it apart.
All the time.
Yeah.
And it differs between every single freaking fan.
Yeah.
Everybody.
My husband is just happy for new Star Wars content. He
so is mine.
He won't even criticize. He's just like, yes, thank you. More, please.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Yeah. Oh, I know. He's like so giddy. He's like, are you ready to watch the new one that's coming out? And I'm like, I don't know what this one is about. Give me a little bit more information.
When is Obi-Wan coming back or Ahsoka? Right. Those are the ones I want.
Right. So Amityville Horror. I don't think it actually happened.
It's just Amityville.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Amityville.
I mean, a bad
so
thing did happen. The
horrible.
murder happened,
Yes.
but I don't think the paranormal
haunting.
activity afterwards happened. So
it doesn't sound like it.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, next week, I'm still trying to decide which one of mine I'm going to do for next week because I have.
So it'll be a surprise.
3. So.
I just need to watch all 3 of those movies.
Oh, I'll give you. I'll have an idea by the end of the day, and I'll tell you which one you need to watch.
Okay.
I might go because the one is going to be quite complex because, like I said, there's 4 different movies involved.
Yeah.
So, you know what? I'm just going to say it right now. I think next week we're going to do Jennifer's Body.
Jennifer's Body? I've never seen that.
Yep.
Okay.
Megan Fox. That's the one I want you to watch, and that's the one that we're going to discuss in our next episode. Because there is a mimesis to that movie that a lot of people don't realize. And I will tell you that it's going to get me up in arms a little bit, too. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
I will watch it and be ready for our next episode.
Yep. Don't look into the background at all because I want you to be surprised.
I'll just watch the movie.
All right. Sounds good.
All right.
All right. I think that's it for today.
Yeah.
So until next time.
Bye.